Hello students, welcome to Vivid Botany. Here we have a question about the generations. Remember there are two stages in every plant's life cycle. One is gametophyte, another is sporophyte. So let me tell you here what is gametophyte and what is sporophyte. Gametophyte is that produces the gametes. Sporophyte is that which produces the spores. So generally speaking, the sporophyte is diploid, gametophyte is haploid. What is diploid? What is haploid? Diploid means two sets of chromosomes in one type is called diploid, and having only one set of chromosome in each type is called haploid. So the gametophyte produces gametes and sporophyte produces spores. Spores are always haploid and gametes are also always haploid. Generally, in every sexually reproducing organism, gametes are haploid and spores are also haploid. The main function of gametophyte is to perform sexual reproduction, whereas the main function of sporophyte is to perform asexual reproduction. Now I think it's very clear. Now let us see that how gametophyte is formed, how sporophyte is formed. See here, gametophyte produces, I told you, the two gametes that include here male and female gamete. This is female, this is male gamete. The two male gametes will fuse, what we call as the fertilization. After fertilization, that leads to formation of the zygote. The zygote will develop into embryo, and this embryo will develop into the sporophyte. This sporophyte produces spores by meiosis, the reduction division, and these spores again give rise to the gametophyte. So this is the life cycle of a plant, whatever it may be, like algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms, angiosperms, all that include the same kind of life cycle. So whenever the meiosis takes place, when haploid stage starts, then gametophytic stage will start. And when fertilization takes place, the zygote, that is diploid, will form, then the sporophytic stage will take place. So fertilization till meiosis, it is sporophytic stage, that is diploid, and from our formation of spores due to RD, which are haploid, there the gametophytic stage takes place. Now the question is here that two generations are present, one within the other, that is either sporophyte is present in gametophyte or gametophyte is present in sporophyte. That is the major question here. That's you want to ask that the diploid present haploid or haploid present in diploid. He is not asking haploid in haploid or diploid in diploid. He is asking either diploid in haploid or haploid in diploid. That is the keyword you need to understand before tackling the question. Now let us see the answers, options one after the other. Pollen grain inside the anther. Remember, pollen grain is haploid, because pollen grain are microspore that is formed as the meiotic division. So it is haploid and microspore. And anther, that is stamen. Anther contains sporogenous tissue, anther wall, like outer epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, tapetum, the connective anther filament, all that are diploid. So here pollen grain is present in anther, that is haploid is present in diploid structure, that is gametophyte is present in the sporophyte structure. So this is very much correct. Next you see germinated pollen grain with two male gametes. Germinated pollen grain. Germinated pollen includes here is also haploid with two male gametes. The male gametes are also haploid because male gametes are also a product of the generative cell, which are part and parcel of the pollen grain. So that's also haploid. So haploid within haploid. The question is not about haploid within haploid or diploid within diploid. The question is about either diploid within haploid or haploid within diploid. So this is not correct. It is wrong. Next, seed inside the fruit. The seed is diploid and fruit is diploid. What is fruit? Fruit is modified ovary after fertilization. So ovary is diploid because ovary is part of carpel. Carpel is diploid. Flower is diploid. Inside the flower, carpel is diploid. In that carpel, ovary is diploid. So when the ovary is diploid, fruit is also diploid. So seed is also diploid because seed is modified ovule. After fertilization, ovule transforms into seed. So ovule is diploid. We know funicle, salaza, micropyle, outer integument, inner integument, nucellus. Except embryo sac inside the ovule, everything is diploid. So seed is diploid, fruit is diploid. So this is also wrong because diploid within diploid. Last one is embryo sac inside the ovule. Yeah. What is embryo sac? The female gametophyte present inside the ovule is called as embryo sac. We know that the embryo sac is 7-celled and 8 nucleated. So these 8 nuclei are haploid except that central cell. Other than central cell, if you take antipodals, synergids, egg cell, every cell of the embryo sac is haploid. So embryo sac is haploid. Then inside the ovule is again diploid because I told you ovule is nothing but part of the ovary and ovary is diploid, ovary is part of carpel, carpel is diploid, flower is diploid, all that are diploid only. So ovule is also diploid. So you see here embryo sac which is haploid present in diploid ovule. So this also suits one generation within another generation. So here A and D both are suitable for the question here. A and D, not B, it is D. A and D both are here suitable. So option is here, fourth option. See the question, really magical question it is. You should have a thorough knowledge of a plant totally. What is sporophyte, what is gametophyte, what is their ploidy, what is the resultant of sporophyte. You know, in every sexually reproducing organisms, the diploid stage is ensured by fertilization, by formation of zygote. Zygote is precursor of the embryo and zygote is a vital link between two generations. Zygote is the first diploid stage in everyone's life cycle. If it is sexually reproducing organism, made by an animal or a eukaryote or a plant or a fungi, whatever it is. If it is sexually reproducing organism, the zygote is the first diploid cell and every organism journey starts with zygote only. So zygote is resultant of what? Syngamy or fertilization. The diploid stage, the sporophytic stage will start with zygote only. Then where does it end? After RD. What is RD? Reduction division or meiosis. See, the after reduction division or meiosis, whatever the meiospore is formed, it may be gamete or it may be spore or something else. All that are resultants of meiosis are haploid in nature. So with that haploid in nature, the gametophytic stage will start. So remember, by RD, gametophytic stage will start. By fertilization, the diplontic, that is sporophytic stage will start. So one should know where the reduction division takes place in all different kinds of plants. For example, if you see in algae zygote is the meiosis, majority of the algae. So after zygote, haploid filaments are formed that develop into plants. So that is initial meiosis. So that entire plant life cycle will remain haploid only. Only zygote is diploid in case of algae. If you see fungi, that is mycota, we call it separate kingdom. So in mycota, in between haploid and diploid stage, dikaryotic mycelium is seen. That is, after plasmogamy, karyogamy does not take place immediately and karyogamy is delayed. As a result, secondary mycelium is formed. That is, dikaryotic secondary mycelium is formed. With this dikaryotic secondary mycelium, the total life of the fungi will lead that kind of life cycle. At the end of life cycle, the two nuclei present in each cell will undergo karyogamy and RD, then primary mycelium is formed. But remember one thing, that dikaryotic secondary mycelium will prevail for a long time. In case of fungi, just to elongate the secondary diploid condition. Neither it is diploid nor it is haploid. It is an intermediate stage between diploid and haploid. Having two haploid nuclei in same cell, that is secondary or dikaryotic mycelium. And in bryophytes, sporic meiosis takes place. Pteridophytes, sporic or intermediate meiosis takes place. In angiosperm, gymnosperms also, the sporic or intermediate meiosis takes place. So, you should know exactly where the meiosis is taking place. The majority of the animals, gametic meiosis takes place. That is, meiosis takes place just before formation of the gametes, which we call as terminal meiosis. So that you see, majority of the plants and majority of the animals will remain diploid for a long time throughout their life cycle. That is, they like to have two sets of chromosomes in each type rather than having one set of chromosome like in case of the algae and primitive animals. So when you have a thorough understanding of sexual reproduction in flowering plants, reproduction organisms, then only you can solve these kind of questions. In fact, for this question, answers are not available in textbook. One should have a thorough understanding of these terms, these concepts. Then only he can do this question very well. So please, I think you have understood this explanation very well. If you have any doubt, please put up one comment. Right? You can Insta also. Very soon I'll tell you what is the Insta name, and you can also comment in the YouTube channel. My channel name is Vivid Botany. Whatever doubts that you have, whatever comment that you make, I'll be responsible for that. I'll clarify your doubts further, and we will be going on through all these questions one after the other, and I'll be trying to explain you as much as I can regarding the question, right? So not to forget, make a comment, not to forget to respond to my questions, right? And not to forget to subscribe my channel Vivid Botany. So we will be looking forward the remaining questions also one after the other, right? Thank you.